Welcome guys, today I'm going to show you how I draw not one, not two, but three things in this video. I'm going to show you how I draw hair, cape, and the red suit. While I'm showing you that, I'm also going to just give you a quick recap of what happens in Wonder Woman 1, the one with Gal Gadot. I don't know, by the time you watch this movie, maybe there's some other actress and this movie might be 10 times worse than the next one, but at the moment, Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot is the best Wonder Woman movie from what I know. So now I'm just going to give a quick recap of what I remember and what I think about the Wonder Woman 1 movie. So it all starts off with her as a child. You know, it seems like a common trope from what I've heard, but I remember like with Batman where they had it with Batman being a child at the beginning of his first movie, tragic childhood, and oh sad, and it's the same with Wonder Woman, starting off with the childhood story, Wonder Woman as a child. So now Wonder Woman, she's a kid, she sees all the Amazon people fighting and training and getting stronger, and now Wonder Woman's like, I want to get strong, so I want to train and get stronger, and you know, and then she talks to her mom, and her mom gives her this whole story about Ares and the Greek gods and everything, and how they came to be, and why are Amazon women the way they are. It's because they're getting stronger because they're preparing for, you know, defending the world, because that's their duty, that's who they are. And Wonder Woman wants to do the same thing. Diana, that's her name. So what her name is actually is Diana, and her Wonder Woman is basically the name of who she is as a character, as a superhero. That's a superhero name. So now she finds out about Ares being the ultimate bad guy, and he's the guy starting wars and that. And so now she's basically growing up, getting stronger, going behind her mom's back and fighting because her mom doesn't want her to fight. She's like, Mom, I just want to fight, I just want to get strong, leave me alone, you know? So then, she's all grown up. Gal Gadot lands up as the actress, as a grown-up form, self, whatever. She's fully evolved. You know, she went through 3 stages at the beginning where she was like a tiny monster, and then she grew up in her final evolution. You know, that's how she is. So then she's sparring with the other Amazonian woman, and the next thing she blocks this one attack from some of the Amazon women, and the next thing, like, there's like this sonic boom, poof, and then people are like pushing away and everything, and that's not normal, you know, that's like godlike powers. No one in that island can make that insane attack or that insane power, you know. That's Wonder Woman. She is very different from all the others, and she doesn't really know a lot about her, how she came to be and everything. She just assumes she's just like everyone else, you know. So now some fight happens and she gets upset. She runs away to the edge of the island just to think about things, you know, young life crisis, I guess. And the next thing, she sees some plane in the sky, falling from the sky, crashing into the ocean. But now, what the thing I don't understand is, how does she even know the concept of what a plane is? How does she know that there's someone in the plane? You know, she has never seen a plane or a person before. How can she see that there's a person in that plane? She doesn't. That's one thing that confused me when I saw that. Like, okay, no concept of that, but okay, I'm gonna go save this person that I don't know is in there, but I'll go and save him anyway. So she jumps in the ocean, super swimming speed. You know, superheroes, they have this insane power where they can just do ridiculous things that most people can't. So she's just swimming and she somehow finds him, saves his life, brings him to the ocean, to to the beach, and she sees the first man for her whole life. She's never seen this dude before. It's the first guy she's ever met. This guy is called Steve Trevor. She finds out about him and his whole story about the war, and he's like a spy, and he was a spy for the British intelligence, so he was going looking for intel and that, finding out information about the Germans. This is happening during World War II, this whole story. So now he's looking around, and he says, I'm sick and tired of just looking for information and not really doing anything. So I'm going to go do something. Steve Trevor goes and he sees two of the three main antagonists of the story. So he's like, I'm going to go there, and I see the general. I'll just call him the general because most of the time you only see him and I don't remember his German name. The general and Doctor Maru, or Doctor Poison, So now he sees them and he sees the plan that they plan on doing. They plan on making a gas bomb, and this is crazy. There's a gas bomb, and then there's a guy suffering, and they're doing experiments on this one guy. So he sees all of this happening, and he's like, this is some crazy stuff, man. This gas bomb is super dangerous, and this could end everyone. So now he looks and he sees, oh, there's a book there. I'm going to go steal that book so that they don't know, so they won't be able to actually come up with this bomb, or just at least have the information about the bomb. So he steals this bomb, tries to run away, and then he lands up running away, and then everyone tries to go after him, but he decides, I'm gonna leave some damage in this place. I'm gonna fly this plane, run away, throw some bombs, do some damages. It's insane. Like, stuff that he does is crazy. That somehow they still manage to catch up to him, and he gets shot. He gets shot, and that's when he falls into the island of the Amazon place. Another faulty thing, the thing with the shield around the island. You're not supposed to see it. You're not supposed to get in contact with the place, but somehow you do. You go through the shield. I would think if there was the shield, that shield should just be. It should make it in a way where it's impossible to go through it, and to not see what's happening. But I think it's ridiculous, that shield. So they somehow get through the shield. Steve gets through the shield first when he crashes, and then the Nazis are following him. Then he lands up surviving, but then the Nazis are trying to get hold of him to exterminate him, as one does as an enemy of the army, or of their army against our, the allies or whatever. So then they're like, we want to get rid of this guy, but now you see the Amazon women are trying to see what's happening, but they also see a threat, the Nazis. So they're fighting the Nazis. They're all getting together, starting a war, getting up their horses, getting their arrows, and then they start fighting. You see all the women are jumping around, doing acrobatic stunts, and riding their horses into battle, shooting their arrows, jumping on shields. It's crazy. But then it's crazy what the Amazonian woman can do against men who have guns. They actually did quite a bit for people with only arrows. No offense to the arrow people. So then they shooting and that, and the next thing they've lost a few people, the Amazonian woman, but then they land up winning the fight, and they take in Steve. Steve is still He's a threat. You don't know who this guy is, so you want to find out why the hell are you on this island? What the hell do you want? So then they find out who Steve is. He's a spy and he's working for the British intelligence. He can't really lie because he has that rope around him. If he tells lies, he gets hurt by it, which is insane. So then Wonder Woman's like, oh, there's this war, because Steve mentions the war and he's fighting for the British intelligence. So she finds out it's a war. So she's like, this must be Ares. I want to go there, and I want to go with, and I want to defeat Ares, because that's what we do as Amazon woman. That's basically what she says. So she wants to go out there, she wants to fight Ares, she wants to end this war, because innocent women and children and people are dying because of this war. So she wants to save the world, she wants to defeat Ares. So now Wonder Woman and Steve, they go out to fight the war together. They go to the war. There's this war zone that they're in. It's like this impossible war that's happening. And Steve's saying, don't go in there, don't fight. No man can pass this place. And she says, you know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to fight. So she just strolls there. She just walks in like any normal person would just get shot dead within a few seconds. A normal person would just die. But she's just walking in there and bullets are coming. She puts up a shield and she takes all those bullets. She puts up that shield, she takes all the bullets and deflects all the bullets. She jumps in their base, in the enemy base. She takes them all out, kicks all their Nazi asses, just beats them up. So they win that fight, that small fight, and they're celebrating. That's awesome. Wonder Woman is insane. All the stuff that she does, it's crazy. She's such a cool superhero. The next thing, there's this ball that's happening, and you find out that the general's there, and also the Dr. Poison, or whatever her name is, she's there as well. And Diana, or Wonder Woman, wants to go there, and she wants to take out this guy, but now Steve is saying, don't do it, you're going to ruin our plans. This is a very important mission, don't mess it up. So now she's like, okay, fine, we'll just leave it, whatever. Straight after that ball and that dance thing that's happened, a gas bomb gets thrown. And it kills so many people. So many people are suffering because of the gas bomb. But the funny thing is, she's walking right through this freaking gas bomb like it's nothing. Again, this woman's a god. It's also dumb that she's walking right into this gas bomb, assuming that nothing will happen to her. I wouldn't do that even if I was a god. My word. So she's in there and she's seeing people suffering firsthand. She sees people suffering and crying and dying, and she's like, oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sad this is happening to people. This sucks, man. So then she's mad and all that, and she's really mad at this general. She thinks this general is Ares. She is convinced the general is Ares. The next thing, they go to the base where the general is. She wants to get rid of this guy, this general. And I really like this general because he's built up so much into the movie. You know, you follow him, you follow his plans and his devious plans, and what he does and his actions are so antagonistic. You know, you hate this guy. You build up this hate relationship for the general in the story. So now she's fighting the general, and he gets this gas or this rejuvenation gas that was given to him earlier in the movie from Doctor Maru, Dr. Poison. He takes this, so now he has superpowers, rejuvenation powers. He fights against Wonder Woman, and they're going out on all out brawl and everything. Wonder Woman defeats the General. Now she thinks, what, people are still fighting? Why are people still fighting? She thought that this General was Ares. But there was a twist. Ares was not this man. It was actually the guy that was sponsoring them earlier in the movie. So the man that you find out is Ares. That's great and all. So they have the all-out fight between them, and like the graphics and the CG within the movie is great, up to the point where like they're halfway through the fight with Ares. Ares showing off his godlike powers, using his levitation abilities to just throw things in mid-air without picking it up himself. He's just using like god powers to pick stuff up, throws it at her. That's great. But now the CG part where she starts running through soldiers and that, I think that was pretty bad. And it's not bad when it goes past that, like when she actually fights Ares. Ares starts using his levitation powers to make a shield thing around him and that. And I don't think that was necessary. Personally, I didn't think he needed to have a suit of armor on when he started fighting her. He could have just stayed the way he was, and that would have been fine. So then they're fighting, and he gives this whole philosophical rant about people and what he's doing is right, and blah blah blah. Ares, you suck. You're way worse than the General. The General was way better as a villain as you, Ares. Like, we didn't really know much about Ares, so he almost feels like he's very foreign. Like, we don't really understand Ares that well. We just know, he's just an OP god, and he just has some point, and that's why he's doing the things that he does. He was basically saying, no, I was merely just mentioning things to people, and that's the reason why they're fighting. So I don't know. I think the General is more of a solid character, a solid villain within the story. Ares was just a lost case, just a last minute villain for me. So then, while this fight is happening, Steve Trevor sees that the bombs that the Germans or the Nazis want to get rid of. He goes in that plane and he wants to get rid of the bombs. So he wants to make sure that he wants to get rid of the bombs, but he wants to do it in a way where it doesn't hurt anyone else. So then he basically says, I'm going to sacrifice myself for the greater good. I'm going to get rid of these bombs, and also I'm going to end myself. This is the war, this is what you have to do. So, I admire the self-sacrifice that he made for the whole plot of the story. So that was good. And it's very sad what happens to him, because there is a bond that Diana and Steve get throughout the story, and you get very close to the relationship that they have together, and you're very invested by that, and then he has to sacrifice himself. So it's like almost like a very tragic story, tragic ending to like a very built up, progressive story in that. So then, at the end of the movie, Wonder Woman defeats Ares, but unfortunately, she lost someone that she loves. she lost Steve Trevor.
I was lucky enough to land the role of Wonder Woman, yes.
I mean, do you realize, has it sunken in yet? Because it's, I mean, there's a giant billboard in Times Square that's
I
bigger than
I went
you.
there last night.
Did you really?
We just got here last night. We went straight to Times Square, and it was just surreal.
You looked at that's,
You cannot take it in. It's like me. I'm from Israel, from this small city, and all of a sudden I'm all over Times Square. It's insane.
Because I was reading, and I think the story I heard is that you were almost considering giving up acting before this.
Yeah. I had this profession, the rejection. Oh, dude,
it's a tough business.
So it's a tough.
Trust me. Have you seen my movies? Yeah. Thank you for rubbing it in. Yeah.
You did pretty well.
Yeah, I ended up okay.
No, but I had so many almost, and another camera test, and it was almost mine, and another role, and another role, and I was like telling my husband, I'm not sure how long I can take it, dragging my family to Los Angeles, doing this, On the same trip, we were in Los Angeles, I got a phone call from Zack Snyder, who wanted to audition me for this secret role. I was like, okay, sure. Well, I'll do that. I just got the sides, did the audition. Zach is a wonderful man. I did the audition. It went great. Went back to Israel to shoot an Israeli movie, and I didn't know if I wanted to continue acting afterwards. Anyway, I'm in Israel. I get a phone call. They tell me that they want to do a camera test. I'm like, again, camera test, again, another, almost.
All right, so you're ready.
And then I'm like, okay, whatever. What am I being testing for? What's the part?
Yeah.
And then my agent goes, they didn't tell you? I'm like, no. So no one knows what am I going to be? What's the big deal?
What am I? Yeah, who am I? Yeah.
So anyway, Zach called me 2 days later, and he's like, I don't know if you have this character in Israel, if she's big or not, but did you ever hear about Wonder Woman? I was like, Wonder Woman, yeah, okay, I'll be there. Done.
Did you talk to anybody about this when you got it?
When I got the part?
Yeah.
I was sitting in an airplane. I just landed. I was by myself. I just landed in Los Angeles. Opened my phone, 20 missed phone calls from my agents. I'm like calling them.
That's good news.
I forgot about that. I've been waiting for 6 weeks. I already think that the part is not mine. And then...
Yes.
I was sitting this entire flight, it's a long flight, 15 hours from Tel Aviv to Los Angeles.
Sure.
I was sitting next to this professor. He tried really hard to teach me about the quantum theory. Super interesting, though very complicated. I'm still working on it.
He wanted to talk to you about
the
quantum physics?
entire flight we were talking about quantum physics.
Are you kidding? That sounds like the worst thing I could
really
ever
good professor.
think of.
It was actually pretty interesting.
Oh, I would put
but
fake headphones on. I would go, I'm so sorry. I gotta listen to something. Quantum physics.
We landed, opened the phone, missed call my agent. The part is yours. You wonder what, but you can't say anything to anyone. And I go, oh my God! And this guy's next to me, and everyone are looking at me like it was a lot louder. I sounded, it was my masculine voice. I'm so sorry. I'm so excited to be here that I've been talking nonstop.
No, that's why it's a talk show. I want you to talk.
Okay, I'll talk.
You just can't say the F word. That's all.
Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.